We're in a completely different world now where selling out and, you know, being obnoxious and being a shitty person is being rewarded.
Don't do this at home. Okay.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Like, we're in territory that I've never seen before.
You have a lot of power. It's a lot, right? Which means you need responsibility. It's like Spider-Man.
Wow. All that tea. That was an amazing 8-part series. I really have to applaud Shane for taking on such an ambitious project, working with one of the most controversial YouTubers ever. Now, I know this is the part we all hate, but I do have some thoughts and criticism about the series and the people in it. The sociopath narrative was a huge controversy earlier on in the series, but I'm not going to deep dive into it because Shane addressed it in part 3. But basically, Shane owned up to his mistakes and was more sensitive during the rest of his editing. Another issue that seems to be talked about outside the series is the lack of Team 10 members interviewed. Fans got riled up when they saw Tessa tweeting "it's getting harder and harder to stay silent," and when Chance put up a lengthy post proving his innocence against the accusation that he stole the former Anthony and Chance YouTube channel. This makes Jake look really shady, but I understand why it wasn't addressed. Shane wanted to focus on Jake and to trust Jake.
Chance! Poopy pants! He left Team 10, and recently he went and got his own house, and he was talking about it on Snapchat, and well, Jake Paul got mad. Jake tweeted out, "Everyone out here acting like they're making moves, Snapchatting new homes and shit, but they still owe me money. Don't think I forgot. I got bigger fish to fry, but it's just got me over here laughing how broke y'all really be. Hashtag stick to the code." Well, Jake, I mean, you know, Chance doesn't live with you anymore. What, do you want him living on the streets? I mean, the guy needs to get a place to live. Can he have a shelter? Can Chance have a shelter?
And I get it. An 8-part series is a long series already. Interviewing everyone would probably be infinity parts long. The abuse allegations. We were all waiting to hear the truth about this. First, Jake only addressed the YouTube drama side of it, especially in part 6 when Jake brought up Alyssa's assault allegations like it was totally fake.
What did she say? She made it up.
He broke my brand new phone, and then I took his phone to try to break it, ran upstairs, he dragged me down the steps, and that's true.
She basically said that I threw her down the stairs and like spit on her all the time, like all this shit.
And later says the allegations were made just to get back at him.
That was like their rebuttal. They were like, "Oh, Jake said this about FaZe, like we're gonna say that Jake threw Alyssa down the stairs."
I mean, seriously, Jake. You couldn't have taken a second to say, "Hey, if this had happened, it would be terrible"? He didn't, though. He just talks about how we lost 300,000 subscribers over it.
Is Jake, you're abusive, and you physically abused Alyssa?
And I lost like 300,000 subscribers.
However, in part 8, Jake had a completely different tone. In my eyes, he was more open and vulnerable about what happened. He talked about how he did a lot of things to Alyssa and acknowledged they were in a really toxic, terrible situation.
It was a combination of things. Like I did, like again, like it was just me like not knowing how to treat her, like me just being like mean towards her or like saying things in an argument that like would piss her off. It was just a terrible, it was a terrible situation.
I believe he was being honest and open about his side of the situation, and he wasn't throwing Alyssa under the bus about it. But he didn't truly acknowledge the abuse Alyssa says he inflicted on her. If you're already committing to being open and honest, and in my view he was, why not own up to everything you did? We'll never know the whole truth between Jake and Alyssa, no doubt about it. But I don't feel like the abuse was properly addressed in the finale. Okay, now moving on to major unaddressed tea. I do believe Jake is trying to be a better person, but I still think Jake is unloyal as, which makes me question if Jerica is real. In case you missed it, here's the tea of Jake trying to fly out a model just 1 month ago as the series was being edited.
A model from the UK known as Selena exposed Jake Paul on her Instagram, showing that Jake Paul was trying to fly her out to Miami to, you know, get that poutang. She uploaded a video proving that the messages between her and Jake were 100% legit, starting from January going on to present day. Now the funny thing is, in the middle of her proving that this was Jake Paul, Jake ended up blocking her on Instagram.
It's apparent that Jake Paul has blocked her, okay? And so they're saying people wouldn't be able to see the messages if she was blocked by Jake Paul, which is not true. I tried this. I blocked a few people that have DMs, and I still was able to see the messages, and I had told them to block me, and they were still able to see my messages. So this is how it works on Instagram. These are real screen recorded. Why is it so hard to believe? You don't remember? Jake Paul was caught in a different state with a different girl kisses on somebody in a jean jacket. So no, I'm not surprised.
Familiar history if I remember things about Jake Paul when he was dating Alyssa and flying other girls in from Ohio. Erica, you're being cheated on if your relationship with Jake is even real in the first place.
I'm a grown man. I can sit up there and tell. This is a mess. I got I'm gonna fly you from London for we can come over and play Uno. What you want to come get some Chipotle? I don't know if y'all got Chipotles in London. They got good guacamole. Look, I'm gonna fly you to London where we can play Fortnite in the same room. Well, no, you know damn well what he was trying to do. When she was flying out, she knew what it was. He seen the type of pictures she posted. It ain't no damn surprise. So anybody out there saying, well, there's no proof that he was trying to sleep with it? No, it is more than enough proof. Please stop acting slow with your dumb.
Look, I don't care how many girls Jake. My problem is cheating and abuse of power. It's not okay.
It was Instagram models that he'd come over and be like, hey, like, we're scouting right now for Team 10. How about you come over? We'll see if you're a fit. They come over, them, they leave, and like, they're never a part of Team 10.
What? Jake would tell girls like, hey, we're looking for another member of Team 10. Just come over to the crib, and then he would. Oh my God!
It was like he used Team 10 to kind of like have girls over.
That is an abuse of power if I've ever seen one. He's a CEO of a major company and he's using that to lure girls and Instagram models into his house, his home, Team 10. Just them.
That's some casting couch stuff! Jake, what is wrong with you?
I was hoping Shane would address this, but I guess when Jake said Jerica is real, he didn't want to push any limits. Another thing I want to address is the amount of bias towards Erica. The series paints Erica like she's some godly figure.
This is our most desperate hour.
The only hope.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
No, Erica's done just as crazy as Jake did. Remember the killer clown videos? Those were staged, but scared so many children.
They had killer clowns break into the house and kidnap them, and kids all around the world lost their freaking mind.
Yeah, they could save Jake Paul. They beat him with a bat to death.
Like, I'm so mad right now. Knowing that your favorite YouTuber might die is really sad.
They were watching their role models being tortured. That's up, and it can be really traumatizing too.
The fact that they spread this out and went on for so long, like these kids were experiencing a lot of stress because they didn't know that it was fake.
I just hope Erica steps up and says no to pranks that go too far like that. I mean, seriously, it wasn't even funny. Okay, now let's end on a good note. Moving on to the most satisfying part of the series. Shane putting some goddamn sense into Jake Paul. I was so happy he addressed the Nerd City controversy.
I agreed with what he was saying.
Younger viewers are unlikely to understand the difference between advertising and entertainment.
I don't know if you know what's right or wrong with a lot of things.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you.
It's not a fuck Jake Paul thing. It's a, would I want my kids watching that? If SpongeBob every 10 seconds was like, buy my merch.
Merch? What? Like, look at all this merch. They can buy, always plug.
Always, right? And was saying things like, teachers are stupid. And would have videos with like, a couple crazy sexual moments or a couple crazy things going on.
Hey, nice butt, Alyssa.
As a parent, you'd be like, I don't want my kids watching that.
I think this conversation was so necessary. I really hope Jake takes Shane's advice.
I think going forward, you might need to have somebody that you hire or somebody around you to be like, hey, no, that's gonna get twisted, don't post that. Or hey, let's not really shoot that music video, that's a little too far.
Because one thing that really irked me about Jake was him claiming he's a family-friendly channel when he's not.
My audience is definitely younger. I'd say it's like 8 years old to like 16 years old. I try to be as clean as possible.
Even if the pranks are fake, children don't know that. All they see is abuse, sexual content, and unsafe behavior. And seeing the participants forgive Jake afterwards makes children think it's okay to treat their peers like that. Overall, I think Shane did an incredible job with this series. He raised awareness around antisocial personality disorder. He helped many people find their peace about certain controversies. And more importantly, he left the audience with a lot of questions about what they're watching. It was about time someone exposed who Jake is behind all the pranks and the vlogs. The jury may still be out on if that Jake is the real Jake, but I think we can agree that Jake is not who he presents. Let me know what you think in the comments below.